Oh, hello. Don't you know who I am?
I love talking about
Mm.
skis.
You do know what you're talking about, Dom. You know, I'm the best skier going. Oh my goodness, there's so many good skis. Every ski has a tip. It's 30 meters. If Tesco did skis, stops the snow from piling up in the front of the ski.
So, listeners, welcome to our bonus episode of the Whiteout podcast, where we're talking about all things winter ski testing. And this week, it's all about PISTE skis because it was so popular when we did the all-mountain skis, Rob. So here I have my co-host presenter, Rob Stewart, to talk about how we test skis, and then also delve a bit deeper into what an on-piste ski is like and who it might be for. So, Rob, welcome to this week's skis. I love talking about skis.
Yeah, me too. Hi, Dom. It is always exciting to talk ski hardware, isn't it? Especially at the start of the season. And fantastic for us to get the opportunity to try out all of these skis a winter before they even come out of the shops as well. It's brilliant.
So lucky. We're so privileged, so lucky. And yeah, the last podcast, which we didn't know whether it was going to be popular at all, about all mountain skis, got the most amount of comments of all the podcasts we've ever launched. People saying how useful it is to find out how they're tested. So we thought on-piste skis would be a good one to do because there are plenty of people that stick to the groomers, as they call them in the States. So, Rob, time to mention today's sponsors, Ski Independence and Canada's Alberta. The team at Ski Independence have been sending customers to Alberta's ski resorts for almost 30 years. With oodles of personal experience, they know all about the best places to stay, the best travel options, and everything in between. From Banff's best après ski locations to breathtaking scenery at Lake Louise, or how to get the best out of a multi-sensory itinerary. They highly recommend road tripping up the spectacular Icefields Parkway between Lake Louise and Jasper for an experience like no other. Visit ski-i.com/Alberta to find out more about booking Canada's Alberta with travel-made specialist Ski Independence. Lift tickets in Jasper's Marmot Basin are half price until the end of November. No better reason to go and book.
Wow, it does sound fantastic. And in fact, this morning I was on my Facebook page and a friend of mine based out in Canada had been to Banff yesterday and took a photograph from the slopes of Banff. And honestly, we're in, what are we, middle of November right now. It looked absolutely incredible. Tons of snow there. It looked proper winter, and they were having a great time.
I was there in January and it was absolutely fantastic. And in fact, I missed the ski test because of it, Rob, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So can you believe that?
You did indeed. You did indeed. So yeah, quick overview about the ski test. I mean, last season we went to the resort of La Louise in France, and we had 18 ski brands to try out there over the whole week. And we had a team of 6 skiers, men and women, including members of the British ski team, 1 Olympian, 2 World Freeride Tour skiers. And then I'm involved in organizing all the ski lists, and we get through as many skis as we can during that week. So the PISTE ski category, like you said before, is very important. A lot of people ski on piste, on groomed runs, on groomers, as you said, and the second most represented ski category there after the all mountain skis.
Wow.
So there were actually 428 PISTE skis to test, although that includes various sizes in the same model.
Absolutely. Well, interesting. Yeah. PISTE skis definitely are top of people's priority because there are plenty of people that stick to the groomers, and who blames them when there are hundreds of miles of them around Europe, US, and Canada. So, Rob, I'm going to ask you the obvious question as if I'm a general punter. Who is an on-piste ski for?
Yeah, it's a good question. It does sound obvious, but clearly for anyone that basically stays on the piste or on the groomed slopes all or almost all of the time. Back in the day, you'd have 1 pair of skis, wouldn't you? It was basically an on-piste kind of ski, and you would if you were an off-piste skier, you had to get on with it. But these days, those on-piste skis are designed specifically for piste skiing or groomed skiing. It could mean a complete beginner or a professional alpine ski racer. That category spans the entire width of all the ability levels. So within that on-piste category, you have skis for beginners, for intermediates, advanced skiers, and experts, professionals as well.
So obviously a PISTE ski is different from an all-mountain ski. So why would I choose a PISTE ski? If I'm an intermediate skier or an advanced skier, why would I choose a PISTE ski over, let's say, an all-mountain ski like we talked about last time?
Yep, right. Depends. Many of the piste skis we test are aimed towards the more advanced and expert skiers that sort of love to carve their turns on groom slopes. They're fairly high performance skis, but they're not in the race category, but they're kind of pushing towards that sort of performance.
Okay.
I mean, let's face it, if you're a beginner, right, you're probably more likely to just go and rent your skis the first time you go anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If you're progressing as a skier and you want versatility, or maybe it's your first ski purchase, you're probably looking for an all-mountain ski, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So what a dedicated piste ski can bring can really up that level of performance, and therefore fun, basically, at the end of the day, fun on those groom slopes.
So what makes an on-piste ski different?
Firstly, the side cut is really important, and most piste skis that aren't in the race category, they have a side cut between around 70 to 75 millimeters under the boot, under the ski foot. So the width at the center of the ski, 70 to 75, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Once you start pushing up to that sort of 80 millimeters, then you're in the all-mountain category. Just
tell me, for the sake of the listeners, Rob, when you say side cut, what are we talking about here? When you're talking about this 70 and 75 mil, just explain to me exactly where you're talking about. Is that directly underneath where I'm standing?
Yes, like we say, under the foot, under the boot.
Okay. So people are looking at the width of the ski directly underneath their foot, directly underneath where their boot is. You're talking about the side cut, the width of that ski directly underneath where they're standing.
They are narrower in the waist than they are at the tip and the tail. Okay. Now, a free ride ski won't have the same amount of difference between the width and the tip and the tail.
Sure.
Normally, generally.
Because they're wider under the foot.
Because they're wider under the foot. I mean, they're obviously also wider at the tip of the tail as well. And there is a shape to most free ride skis. There is also a shape like an hourglass, but not as pronounced as an hourglass, right? Obviously. But a piste ski will have a more pronounced shape to it.
So your typical punter skier who's quite new to skiing can look quite a pro by looking at a set of skis and saying that's a set of piste skis, by knowing that it's nice and narrow underneath the foot.
Yes, they would be able to tell the difference between a piste ski and a free ride ski, having the knowledge that we've just given them right now.
What about length of skis, Rob? Because I watch Ski Sunday, I see these guys standing there with skis that look about 9 meters long. And in the olden days, we all had super long skis, and then there was some super short skis. How do I know what length to be buying?
Yeah. Again, that's a really, really good question. It's pretty simple. It's simple in some ways, and there's more complex answers as well. Those long skis that we see ski racers using on Ski Sunday, right? They are downhill ski racers or super G ski racers that have the longer skis. The ski length depends a little bit on what you're looking for, basically, and what kind of turn radius, we'll get to that as well a little bit later, you want, and just also what feels right for you. Piste skis, as we said, tend to be between 70 and 75 millimeters underfoot, and then the length should be around 5 to 15 centimeters below your height, depending on what sort of turn radius you're looking at. Personally, I normally like a slightly longer ski because I want to have stability at speed, and I'm just more used to that. So I probably wouldn't go for anything below 5 centimeters under my height.
Okay. So generally something maybe between, depending on your level of skier that you are, something maybe between your top lip and your forehead sort of thing when it stands next to you?
Yeah, I would say that's generally a good way.
Yeah.
A rule of thumb.
So we've talked a bit about turn radius there. That sounds a bit of a buzzword that I've heard people saying in shops. What is turn radius?
Yeah, I mean, simply put, it's the radius of the circle that determines the turn shape of the ski.
Okay.
It's an imaginary circle, really.
Yeah.
Of course, it can hugely vary depending on factors such as how much pressure you put on the ski when you turn it, and how much rotation you might use within a turn as well. So that turn radius, well, if it's a 15-meter turn radius ski, it doesn't mean your turn radius is always going to be 15 meters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So typically, performance piste skis, like piste skis designed for high performance, not race skis, but ones that you can grab off the shelf, they have a turn radius of between 15 and 20 meters, depending on the ski's length and also the side cut. That's what determines the turn radius at the end of the day, side cut and the length. Okay. So if you look at the minimum turn radius for giant slalom skis in the World Cup ski races, though, it's 30 meters. It's huge, way longer than any of those off-the-shelf piste skis that we would have for normal skiers. And we want a ski that turns easily and has a quick turn radius and makes it easy for us to turn. If you try getting on one of those World Cup GS piste skis with a 30-meter radius and try and turn that thing, I mean, it's a different ball game then. But just to finish on the turn radius thing, I wouldn't get too strung up on turn radiuses unless you're really looking for something specific.
No. One thing that you do hear in ski stores when you're hearing people talking about buying skis is rocker. You know, that makes a sense of sort of off-piste because it kind of helps with float. But what about for piste skis? What is rocker? Describe what rocker is, and why would one ski have it and one ski not, for example?
On an on-piste ski, there's often a small rocker on the tip that just helps the turn. It helps the turn initiation of the ski. That's what it does.
It's like a kick out on the ski, isn't it? It's like as you look at the side of the skis, they kind of kick out, and you can see where that rocker starts.
Right. You can normally see. I mean, all skis have a ski tip, right? They have done since the invention of skis. Right, because it's obvious it stops the snow from piling up in the front of the ski. Every ski has a tip, but a rocker brings that tip a little bit further back. You know, it sort of starts that kind of tapering effect a little bit further back. So, but that little extra helps. If Tesco did skis,
exactly,
that little bit extra.
So we were out in Lake Louise, as you mentioned. We tested out a load of piste skis, and let's hear a little about our favorite 6 pairs of skis that we found in Lake Louise that you guys and girls absolutely loved.
Yeah, I picked up the new Nordica Spitfire on-piste ski. This one, this is the 74 underfoot. There is also a slightly narrower one, 68 underfoot as well. So yeah, the Spitfire has been around for a long time, but this is a completely new ski for 23-24. What Nordica has done is basically they've put a wood core into the ski, and then they've literally taken a saw and gone all the way down through the ski, and then they've put a rubber layer in between the 2 wooden core layers, put it back together again. So actually what that does is it dampens the ski really, really nicely, but kind of keeps that liveliness as well. There's no metal plate in this ski, so it's designed for, I would say, strong intermediate piste skiers upwards. But you know, actually when I've just skied on really sort of different piste snow conditions, some hard pack, some softer snow, it really handled it all nicely, really well. Like the grip on the hard snow was great. So you'd think that there was a metal plate in there in terms of the grip. Really nice and damp feel. And then easy to turn. Like, it doesn't like sliding too much, skidding. It's not a kind of rotational ski. It does like to carve. But actually, if you're sort of learning to carve and you want to improve your carving turns, then I'd say the Nordica Spitfire, this one, the 74 DC, because they do make 2 versions of this with a metal plate in as well. But the DC, without the plate, nice and soft, nice and easy to turn, but it still has that grip and control that you really want. And I had loads of confidence on the sort of hard pack. I wouldn't say it was icy, but it was very hard packed snow, and there was no problem with the grip coming around. So £650 with bindings, which is a good price for a decent piste ski for a lot of levels of skier. So if you're looking to buy your first ski, I'd say, and you've been skiing for a few years, you like carving around on the piste, this would be a great option.
I've just been on the Redster X9S in a 175, 65mm underfoot, a really, really good ski for these beautiful crisp days in France when it's sunny and the snow is firm. Just a really solid piste ski. I've just been down. The control on the slope is really, really impressive. It's got these Revo shock plates, which really helps to stabilize the ski and control it in such a manner that once you have the ski on edge, it's excellent. Coming in at £1,090 with bindings, it is a bit on the higher price, but you are getting your money's worth if you're really looking for that piste ski for any real conditions, really. So Redster X9S, recommend it if you're high level skier looking for piste skiing.
First ski of the test for me, the Blizzard Thunderbird R15. It's 76 millimeters underfoot. It costs £920 with bindings. So it's quite a high-end ski price-wise. It is designed for expert skiers that really like to carve on piste. You know, 76 mil, I mean, I'd say for me, it feels really, really nice in the short radius turns. Really snappy, really responsive, sort of rebounding out of every turn. The grip on these skis was amazing. I mean, the piste conditions at the moment are good, but they're quite hard, quite firm, but they grip really, really well. Sort of open them up into longer radius turns, really cruisy, but at higher speeds, I started to feel a little bit unstable, but then it was the first run for me of the day. So, you know, that might have something to do with it. They certainly liked to carve long radius turns as well, but I think they prefer the shorts. So quite a stiff ski. There'd be a titanium plate in here running through the ski, so it's quite stiff and you can really feel that on the slope. But if you're the kind of skier that really likes to sort of carve around and rip around, you love those short radius turns, then I'd recommend the Thunderbird from Blizzard. It's a brilliant ski. Yes, it's pricey, but you know, you're getting your money's worth with this one. So, Blizzard Thunderbird R15, £920.
With the Salomon Addict Pro Z12. Really, really good on-piste ski. Reminds me slightly of my slalom skis back in the days when I was racing. Just a really, really solid ski for on-slope skiing. If you're looking for that really performance-orientated ski, this would be the one for you. It's 12-meter radius. I've got it in 163 here. Just a really good slope ski. You're looking, if you're in a sort of higher level, if you're a high level skier and you're looking for these short slalom sort of snappy turns, this is a ski for you. So this ski is coming in at £780 with bindings, so it's a really good price point for the ski that you're getting. A relatively good price for what you get. I've truly enjoyed it today, especially with these slightly more aggressive conditions with the recent snowfall that we've had. But yeah, Salomon Addict Pro Z12 is the ski for somebody who's looking to find their inner slalom skier.
I've grabbed hold of a new classic, I suppose you could say. It's the Vocal Deacon 72 black version. Just comes in two colours. This happens to be the black version, the same ski as the redder one. Yeah, 72 millimeters underfoot. Classic kind of piste ski aimed at advanced and expert skiers that really want to kind of carve and rip up the piste. And it really does do that, this ski. I mean, I have skied on it before last year, really, really enjoyed it. So I did want to try it again just to kind of back that up, and it did not disappoint. It is a £900 price point, including bindings. So, you know, you're not, it's high end price point wise, but for what you get, if you look at other skis around the market for the same kind of price, you're not going to be disappointed on the ski. It's got a plate running through it, metal plate running through it. It feels like almost like a proper race ski, but it turns just a lot easier than, you know, say the full-on race ski. Obviously, tiny bit of a tip rocker up there to initiate the turn. It's not a difficult ski to ski on, but unless you really are, you know, wanting to carve and ski at higher speeds on piste, probably not a lot of point in spending £900 on the ski. But if you are, you know, a good skier, maybe a ski instructor, former ski racer, whatever, you want a piste ski to cruise around on that's not going to like make your life too difficult but be really, really enjoyable, then the Vocal Deacon 72 is definitely a really, really great option. So yeah, I really enjoyed skiing on this. £900. I mean, I guess I should enjoy skiing on it, right? But yeah, check it out. Vocal Deacon 72. And this one is Salomon Stance 80. So Stance is like an all-mountain ski. Basically 80mm underfoot, £460 with bindings. So, you know, good value for money ski. Kind of ski, I would say, that might work as your first purchase. This is the women's model I'm skiing on, hence the colours. But the men's ski version, same ski stance, 80, is exactly the same ski. So women's and men's construction's the same. Fairly simple wood core construction. No metal plate in there, but it does have some carbon going through the top, you know, in the core to kind of strengthen the torsional stiffness. It's an easy ski to turn. It's super easy, super light, very, very responsive. Also really grippy on ice. I mean, I pushed it a little bit harder and, you know, maybe at higher speeds on piste. It's not the most stable ski, but it's not aimed at that kind of skier. It's just, you know, it's a great all-round ski for skiing the whole mountain. Take it off the side of the piste a little bit, 80 underfoot, it handles it. It's perfectly happy on piste all day long as well. You know, you don't need to ski this off piste. So yeah, for a kind of entry-level ski, £460 with bindings. Thinking about buying your first pair and you're the kind of skier that, you know, intermediate to advanced skier with parallel turns, starting to carve those turns on the piste, sometimes like to go a little bit off the piste into the fluffy stuff, definitely a good option. Yep, it's the Salomon Stance 80, £460.
Very cool indeed, Rob. What a great week. I really did miss out. I was in Banff. I did have a great time.
But this year, you're going to be in Lake Louise.
This year I'm going to be in Lake Louise, yeah.
We're testing skis again.
Yeah,
we're going to test those hundreds of pairs of skis again this
winter. 2024-25 skis. So
in January.
What a great little roundup. 6 pairs of skis that came out there. Was there a particular favourite? Yeah, the Nordica Spitfire, the Atomic Redster, the Blizzard Thunderbird, the Salomon Addict Pro, and the Volcal Deacon and the Salomon Stance. Is there one that really stood out for you?
Oh my goodness, there's so many good skis. You know, there's obviously not one bad ski in that list that you've just read out. They were our picks, and they were our favourite skis of the week.
Yeah.
I think if I was pushed into a corner and I had to pick one, I would probably go for the Volcal Deacon because it's just such a solid piece of kit. It's such a reliable ski, and it's versatile, and it builds your confidence. It's so stable, it's so smooth, it's not difficult to turn, yet it gives you a lot of performance. It's the build quality feels very, very good, very, very high end.
It's fair to say, isn't it, that it's easy to think as a novice skier that the ski won't make any difference to your skiing, but I genuinely believe it's fair to say that one, the consistency is good, because if they get used to skiing on that ski and they're only skiing, let's say, 1 or maybe at best 2 weeks a year, having that consistent ski that they know, they may not be an expert skier, but knowing how that ski is going to respond to the way they ski, I think is a good thing for a novice skier, because I think it builds their confidence. And the other thing is, I genuinely believe that if they're given the wrong ski in that hire shop, just because it's what they've got available, or they like the color of the graphics, or the bloke just grabs them off the shelf and just puts them in their hand and they don't know what they're getting, it could be a bit of a make or break of the holiday. If that ski's, if it's wrong for them, or they're not used to it, they could come away from a ski holiday generally not thinking, I've not had a great time, and it could be just the wrong ski.
Oh, I completely agree with all of that.
Thanks.
And, you know, at the end of the day, you do know what you're talking about, Dom.
Yeah, I would really urge people that when they go into a ski shop to try and gen up a little bit. If they are going to hire, which is absolutely fine if they are going to hire, but just gen up a little bit before you get there. And instead of just accepting the first ski that's plunged into your hand, if it looks knackered, or if it feels blunt on the edges, or, you know, or if you're just looking at it thinking, do you know what, I can see behind there the ski that I skied on last time I was here, I'd rather have that, then absolutely speak up, because these ski hire shops are very happy to swap them over on them. Or if you have a bad day on it, do take them back at the end of the day and say, you know what, I don't like that ski, can I get another one? Because it's really not a problem, is it?
It's not a problem. Don't be afraid to tell them that you are a beginner, but you've had some lessons. There is a tendency for people to over-egg their ski experience. Many years ago, when I was a teenager, we went on a skiing holiday with another family. The family they were complete beginners. They were quite a wealthy family. And the guy went to the local ski shop and he bought himself brand new ski boots, brand new skis, and everything, the whole kit, racing boots,
Love it.
racing skis, because that's what he insisted. The ski instructor at the time said, "I'm sorry, I'm not teaching you with those skis. You're not going to learn to ski on those things." So, he sort of had to sheepishly go to the rental shop and get some skis that worked.
Very quick shout out. I don't know whether I'm sure you do know, but Ski Exchange, which is a ski retailer, they are running a consumer ski test out in Pila in Italy, 10th to the 16th of March. Fantastic. You can read all about it on the In the Snow website. Give that a quick plug. So go to inthesnow.com and have a look for the ski test that's running, a consumer ski test. You can go out, try out hundreds of pairs of skis, Atomic Head, Rossi Salomon, Dina Star Scott, loads more, and even got Graham Bell out there to ski with. So he's even going to be able to show you how to ski like an Olympic skier. So at the end of the week, you can buy Olympic skis. Such a great opportunity, isn't it? You can go and try out a few pairs of skis and go, you know what? I love those. I feel great on those. Because it could make a relatively novice skier feel pretty good on a pair of skis. Nice and stable, make them feel nice and steady, especially on the piste skis. It's a great way to do it.
This is a great initiative, this ski test. Anyone can sign up for it. Anyone can go along and test all the sort of skis that we get to test. And Pila's great for ski testing. We've done a ski test there ourselves, and it is a fantastic result for that. So, yeah, good on James at Ski Exchange for organising that. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. So I think that's probably all for this time. Any more parting words, Rob? Any more final advice for people before we sign off this week?
Go into a store, speak to an expert there, such as Ellis Brigham, for example, or an independent, such as Ski Bartlett or Ski Exchange that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Because, there are a lot of online retailers out there that might, that aren't UK based actually. And I don't know what sort of comeback you have if something goes wrong. So that's why I'm just giving that advice to go to a UK retailer.
So important. So as everybody, as we've said, we are out testing skis all the time, and it's well worth going to our YouTube channel, which is at In the Snow Mag, where there are hundreds of ski tests probably over a decade now. We've been doing YouTube reviews for over a decade. Hundreds of skis tested there, and it's well worth just watching and listening to see, because it's not all just jargon and tech speak and racing speak. It is, in fact, completely on the contrary. It is telling you what these skis are like and who they're great for. So it's a well worthwhile resource to go and check out and listen to some of those reviews. They're nice and punchy, 3 or 4 minutes per ski. And there are some great roundups of the best piste skis, best off-piste skis, best all-mountain skis. So it's well worthwhile checking out. In the meantime, lots going on out in the mountains, and in a week's time, Rob will be back with our regular episode of news and resort spotlights and what's happening with the snow conditions, and lots more things coming up next week.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Dom.
Very good. Good to talk to you. We'll pick up with you again in a week's time.
All right. Sounds good, Dom.
Very
See
good.
you next time.
Cheers.
Mais non, talkie-walkie. Pretty sure it's called a walkie-talkie, mate.